Imagine drinking a beverage that creates the exact same biological effect on your arteries as a moderate workout. Science actually calls this phenomenon exercise in a cup, you see. Modern medicine is obsessed with forcing your blood pressure down, but they completely ignore repairing the damaged pipes carrying that blood. Today, I'm going to show you how to activate your body's own nitric oxide factory to not just unclog, but literally rejuvenate your cardiovascular system without a single prescription pill. Now, to understand why this drink works, we have to totally shift how you see your own body. Most people, and unfortunately even many doctors, treat your arteries like they are just simple plastic pipes found in your kitchen sink. You know, like inert tubes that just carry liquid from point A to point B. And if they get clogged, you just assume it's because you ate too much grease, like pouring bacon fat down the drain. But that is completely wrong. Your arteries are not pipes. They are intelligent, living organs. I want you to picture something with me. If we were to take the very thin lining inside all of your blood vessels, this is called the endothelium, a single layer of cells, and we stripped it out and laid it flat. Do you know how big that surface area would be? It would cover an entire tennis court. Think about that for a second. You have a biological structure the size of a tennis court folded up inside your body. This isn't just passive wallpaper. This inner tennis court is arguably the largest and most important organ you have. It is smart. It is constantly sensing your blood flow, sensing chemical signals, and deciding whether to tighten up or relax. And its most important job. It is your personal factory for nitric oxide. When that tennis court is smooth and healthy, it produces plenty of nitric oxide. This gas keeps the artery slippery, flexible, and relaxed. It prevents things from sticking. It's like a non-stick coating. But here's the problem. When you consume high sugar or highly processed foods, or when you are under chronic stress, you are essentially carpet bombing this tennis court. You are creating inflammation. You are creating little micro tears and lesions all over this delicate surface. Now, pay close attention, because this is where everyone gets it wrong regarding heart disease. When the endothelial layer gets damaged, when that tennis court has cracks and holes in it, your body enters a state of emergency. It has to fix it immediately. Otherwise, the vessel would leak, and that would be catastrophic. So, what does the body do? It sends in a patch. It calls upon the liver to send cholesterol and calcium to the site of the damage. It uses them like a biological cementor, a spackle to plaster over the cracks. This is what we call plaque. So realize, the plaque is not the enemy. The plaque is the body's attempt to save your life. It is a reparative mechanism. But what happens when you go to the standard medical route? They look at the plaque, they see the cholesterol, and they say, aha, you have high cholesterol. Let's give you a drug to lower the cholesterol. That is like blaming the firefighters for the fire, just because you always see them at the scene of the burning building. The cholesterol is the firefighter. It is there because the inflammation is there. It is there because the endothelial layer, that tennis court, is damaged. If you just take medication to lower the cholesterol, but you never stop the carpet bombing that is destroying your endothelial layer, you are just removing the bandage while the wound keeps bleeding. You are not fixing the root cause. You are just managing the numbers on a lab sheet while your arteries continue to get stiffer and more damaged. To really prevent a stroke or a heart attack, we don't need to attack the cholesterol. We need to heal the tennis court. We need to restore that non-stick coating. We need to boost that nitric oxide production so the body doesn't need to patch things up anymore. But before we get to the solution, we have to identify the real culprit. Because you might be sitting there thinking, well, I don't eat that much sugar, so I'm safe. But there is a hidden enemy that destroys this layer even in people who think they are eating clean. Now, let's identify the primary weapon that destroys this endothelial layer. You probably guessed it. It's sugar. But I'm not just talking about the white granular stuff you put in your coffee. I'm talking about refined carbohydrates, bread, pasta, cereal. The things that turn into sugar the second they hit your stomach. When sugar enters your bloodstream in high amounts, it acts like something that rusts out the inside of a pipe. It creates oxidation. It creates inflammation. It is chemically abrasive to that delicate tennis court we just talked about. To give you a perspective on how toxic sugar is, let's look at your blood. A normal blood sugar level is roughly 80 milligrams per day. Do you know what that equates to in your entire body? It is basically 1 teaspoon of sugar. That's it. 1 teaspoon is all your body wants circulating at any given time. But the average person, consuming the standard diet, is dumping anywhere from 50 to 100 teaspoons of sugar into their system every single day. So, how is it possible that you don't fall into a coma and die instantly? It's because your body has a very powerful protective mechanism. It's called insulin. Think of insulin like a high-powered vacuum cleaner. The moment that sugar spikes, Insulin rushes in and sucks it out of the blood as fast as possible. It stuffs that sugar into the liver, into the fat cells, anywhere just to get it out of the arteries so it doesn't rust out the pipes. This is why so many people have normal blood sugar on their lab tests for years, even though they eat terrible food. Their insulin is working overtime. It is screaming. It is keeping the house clean, but the vacuum cleaner is overheating. Eventually, after 10, 15, maybe 20 years of this abuse, the pancreas gets exhausted. The vacuum cleaner breaks, and that is when you see the blood sugar rise, and you get the diagnosis of diabetes. But by then, the damage to the arteries has been happening for decades. Now, I want to stop here for a second, because there is a specific group of you watching this right now, and you are frustrated. I see this in the comments all the time, and I hear it from my patients. You might be saying, but Dr. Birch, this doesn't apply to me. I am thin. I don't eat sugar. I exercise every day. And yet, my cardiologist tells me I have a 60% blockage in my arteries. How is that possible? Did my body betray me? I understand your frustration. You feel like you did everything right, but the results are wrong. But let me tell you, your body didn't betray you. It is reacting to a hidden enemy that most doctors completely ignore. That enemy is cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. And here's the mechanism that explains the paradox. If you are someone who is chronically stressed, anxious, or maybe you ain't sleep well, you are always in that fight or flight mode, your body perceives that you are in danger, and when the body thinks it is in danger, it needs fuel. Fast fuel. So, even if you eat zero sugar, your body will actually break down your own muscle tissue and convert it into sugar. This process is called gluconeogenesis, literally, creating new sugar. You could be on a perfect diet, but if your cortisol is through the roof, your body is flooding your bloodstream with sugar from the inside out. You are creating your own high blood sugar. And guess what happens? That internal sugar rusts out the arteries just like the donut you didn't eat. It creates the same inflammation, the same endothelial damage, and the same plaque buildup. So, for those of you in this situation, simply drinking cacao or changing your diet isn't enough. You have to look at the nervous system. You have to lower the stress. Don't blame yourself or think it's just bad genetics. It's a physiological response to a threat. So, whether the damage is coming from the pasta you ate for lunch or the stress of your high-pressure job, the result is the same: a damaged endothelial layer that can no longer produce nitric oxide. And when nitric oxide goes down, the arteries get stiff, the pressure goes up, and the clots start to form. This brings us to the solution. How do we repair this? How do we naturally boost nitric oxide to heal that layer? That is where our specific drink comes in. So, what is the one thing that can go into your body and actually repair this damage? What can wake up that tennis court and tell it to start producing nitric oxide again? It is cacao powder. Now, please, do not confuse this with the sweet, processed cocoa mix you might buy for hot chocolate. That stuff is usually treated with high heat and chemicals, a process called Dutching, which destroys all the medicine inside the bean. We want the raw, unheated, organic cacao bean. Why? Because raw cacao is loaded with a specific type of phytonutrient called flavonols, and these flavonols are fascinating. When you consume them, they act like a signal. They travel to your arteries and they literally flip a switch on the enzyme that makes nitric oxide. Remember earlier when I mentioned exercise in a cup? That wasn't just a catchy phrase. There was a legitimate study where they compared the arterial dilation, the widening of the blood vessels, from consuming high flavanol cacao versus doing moderate exercise. And the results were almost identical. That is just wild to me. You are drinking something, and your arteries are responding as if you are moving your body. It reverses arterial stiffness. It makes the vessels flexible again. And I like to combine this with beetroot powder. Here's the difference. Beetroot actually provides the raw material to make nitric oxide, while cacao stimulates the factory to start working. So when you put them together, you get this massive synergistic effect. It's a 1-2 punch for your heart. But wait. Stop right there. Before you rush out to the grocery store or go online to buy the first bag of cacao you see, I have to give you a very serious warning. This is something the industry does not want to talk about, but you need to know it to protect yourself. There is a dirty secret regarding cacao, and that secret is heavy metals. Specifically, cadmium and lead. You see, the cacao tree is amazing, but it acts like a sponge. It has this incredible ability to absorb nutrients from the soil, but it also absorbs toxins. If that tree is grown in volcanic soil, which is very common, in certain parts of South America or in soil that has been polluted by industrial runoff, that bean is going to pull up high levels of cadmium, Cadmium is toxic. And the problem is, it accumulates in your body. It has a half-life of decades. And while cacao is great for your heart, cadmium is absolutely terrible for your kidneys. I don't want you to fix your heart only to destroy your kidneys in the process. That is not a good trade-off. So, how do you navigate this? How do you get the benefits without the poison? First, you must buy organic. This is non-negotiable. Conventionally grown cacao is sprayed with pesticides and herbicides that you do not want in your liver. But organic isn't enough to stop the heavy metals, because that comes from the soil, not the spray. So, step 2 is, you have to look for a brand that does third-party testing. You want to see a certificate of analysis. You want a company that is transparent enough to say, hey, we tested our batch, and the heavy metal levels are below the safety limits. Usually cacao sourced from parts of Africa or specific regions with non-volcanic soil tends to be naturally lower in these metals. But you don't need to be a geologist. You just need to be a smart consumer. Look for the testing label. If you can find a high-quality, organic, tested cacao powder, you have one of the most potent anti-aging tools for your arteries on the planet. It builds up in your system. It's cumulative. The more you use it, the better your endothelial layer functions. So now that we have the right ingredients, safe cacao and beetroot, the next question is, when do you drink it? Because if you get the timing wrong, you might accidentally neutralize the benefits. Now, knowing what to drink is only half the battle. To get the maximum benefit for your arteries, you have to know when to drink it, and this is not random. This is based on your body's biological clock. There is a phenomenon in cardiology that we need to talk about. Statistics showed that the highest rate of heart attacks and strokes happens between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. We call this the morning risk window. Why does this happen? Well, when you wake up, your body releases a surge of cortisol. This is the hormone that wakes you up. But it also increases your blood pressure and makes your blood slightly thicker and stickier at the same time. Your natural nitric oxide levels are at their absolute lowest point because you haven't been moving all night. So, you have sticky blood, higher pressure, and constricted vessels. It is the perfect storm for a clot. This is why I want you to drink this mixture in the morning. Think of it as a shield. By flooding your system with these cacao flavonols right when you wake up, you are forcing those arteries to dilate and stay open during the most dangerous time of the day. You are counteracting that natural morning stiffness. But, and this is a big but, do not drink this at the exact same time as your coffee. I know, it's tempting to make a mocha, but caffeine is a vasoconstrictor. It tightens the blood vessels. Cacao is a vasodilator. It opens them. If you take them together, you are sending your arteries mixed signals, and you significantly reduce the medicinal effect. So, have your coffee, wait about 90 minutes to 2 hours, and then have your cacao drink. Now, let's talk about how to make this so you actually enjoy it. Because let's be honest, raw, organic cacao powder is bitter. It tastes earthy. If you just mix it with water, you're going to hate it, and you're going to quit after 3 days. I want you to make what I call the vessel cleaning latte. Here's the secret. You need fat. You want to take 1 tablespoon of your organic cacao powder and 1 teaspoon of your beetroot powder. Put that in your mug. Then, add a healthy fat. I personally love organic heavy whipping cream, no sugar added, or a tablespoon of coconut oil or MCT oil. Why add fat? 2 reasons. First, it completely neutralizes the bitterness and gives it a rich, creamy, chocolatey texture. It tastes like a treat, not a punishment. Second, and more importantly, many of the phytonutrients in cacao are fat. When you consume them with fat, you can double or even triple the absorption rate. You are getting more bang for your buck. Then, add a natural sweetener like stevia or monk fruit. Do not use sugar, or you defeat the whole purpose. And finally, sprinkle in a little Ceylon cinnamon. Cinnamon helps with insulin sensitivity, so you are tackling the blood sugar problem from another angle. Pour in your water, but make sure it is warm, not boiling. If the water is boiling, you will cook the enzymes and destroy the delicate flavonols. Keep it warm, blend it up with a little frother, and sip it slowly. When you drink this, you might feel a subtle shift. You might feel a little more alert, a little clearer. That is the blood flow returning to your brain. That is the tennis court inside your vessels coming back to life. So, here is my challenge to you. Try this protocol for just 14 days. Don't change everything overnight. Just add this one habit. Listen to your body. See how your energy changes. See how your blood pressure responds. You are not helpless. You have the most sophisticated repair machinery in the world right inside your chest. You just need to give it the right raw materials to do its job. Go ahead and try the recipe, and then come back and comment down below with your results. I read the comments, and I want to know how this works for you. And if you want to learn more about what foods to strictly avoid to protect that endothelial layer, I have a video right here that breaks it all down. Check it out.